The sun hung heavy over the Serengeti, its scorching rays turning the savanna into a shimmering mirage. 26-year-old wildlife ranger Amanda Reyes wiped the sweat from her brow, her throat burning with thirst. She had been tracking a group of poachers for hours, but the brutal heat was taking its toll. Her radio crackled weakly before falling silent. No signal. Her water bottle had been empty since dawn. Every step sent waves of dizziness through her body, but she forced herself forward. She couldn't stop. Not here, not in the middle of lion territory. Then, without warning, her legs gave out. Amanda collapsed face first into the dry grass, her vision swimming. She tried to push herself up, but her arms trembled violently. The world spun. She was too weak to move, too weak to even call for help. And that's when she heard it, the sound that turned her blood to ice, a deep, rumbling growl. Her breath caught in her chest. Slowly, painfully, she turned her head. Less than 10 feet away, a massive male lion stood watching her, his golden eyes locked onto hers. His black-tipped mane swayed in the hot breeze, and his powerful muscles were tensed. Behind him, 3 lionesses emerged from the tall grass, their ears twitching, their tails flicking with curiosity. Amanda's heart hammered against her ribs. This was it. She had survived poachers, snake bites, and sandstorms, only to die here, torn apart by the very animals she had sworn to protect. She closed her eyes, waiting for the pain, but it never came. Instead, she felt warm breath against her skin. The male lion, his massive head now inches from her face, sniffed her hair, then her hands. His breath was hot, his whiskers brushing her arm. Amanda dared to open her eyes. The lion wasn't snarling. He wasn't baring his teeth. He was studying her. Then, impossibly, he lay down beside her. The lionesses circled, their movements cautious but not aggressive. One of them, a younger female with a scar across her nose, approached Amanda's canteen, nudging it with her paw before letting out a soft chuff. The others settled nearby, their bodies forming a loose circle around her. Amanda's exhausted mind struggled to understand. They weren't attacking. They weren't running. They were staying. As the sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky in fiery oranges and purples, Amanda's fever spiked. Her body shook with chills despite the lingering heat. The lions remained close, their presence strangely comforting. When the distant cackle of hyenas echoed through the night, the male lion rose to his feet. His thunderous roar shook the ground. The hyenas fell silent. Amanda drifted in and out of consciousness, her thoughts slipping into memories. Flashback, 3 years earlier. A younger Amanda, fresh out of ranger training, had been patrolling the same stretch of land when she heard a desperate, high-pitched cry. Following the sound, she found a lion cub, a tiny male, trapped in a poacher's wire snare. His back leg was bleeding, his golden eyes wide with fear. The cub's mother was nowhere in sight. Amanda knew the risk. Lions were fiercely protective of their young, but she couldn't leave him. With slow, deliberate movements, she approached, whispering soothing words. The cub whimpered but didn't lash out. Carefully, she cut the wire, freeing his leg. The moment he was loose, the cub stumbled forward, not to run, but to press his small, warm body against her side. Just for a second. Then, with a soft growl from the bushes, his mother appeared. Amanda froze. The lioness stared at her, gaze unreadable. Then, without a sound, she nudged her cub forward and vanished into the grass. Present day. Now, as Amanda lay half-conscious under the stars, a terrifying realization struck her. The male lion guarding her, his size, the faint scar on his shoulder, it was that same cub. He remembered her. Dawn came with the distant hum of engines. Amanda's fellow rangers had finally found her. They arrived with rifles raised, ready for the worst, only to freeze at the sight before them. Amanda, barely conscious, surrounded by lions. The male lion, her once small cub, stood as the vehicles approached. For a long, breathless moment, he stared at the armed men. Then, with a final glance at Amanda, he turned and led his pride into the golden grass, leaving her in stunned silence. 3 months later, Amanda stood at the edge of the reserve, binoculars in hand. And there, watching her from a rocky outcrop, was the pride. The male lion met her gaze across the distance, his mane glowing in the sunset. No roar, no growl, Just a look that said more than words ever could. This is the power of the wild, where the unlikeliest bonds are formed. If this story moved you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more real-life animal rescues that will leave you speechless. Who knows what incredible survival story we'll witness next?